Hi guys, and welcome to my channel Football Canapes. And today we are going to be talking about and going through the 2023-2024 Champions League draw. Of course, this time I am doubly excited with what's going on. I mean, my team Newcastle United is in the draw, and never did I think 2 years ago that Newcastle United will be playing in the Champions League. And yeah, so doubly excited for this draw. The draw should begin shortly. The draw should begin shortly, and yes, so doubly excited about what we are likely to see in the next hour. So I know it's a bit of a long show. It's a longish kind of a draw because a lot of a lot of awards will be given out today as well. For example, the best manager award. Three people have been shortlisted: um, Pep Guardiola, Simone Inzaghi, as well as Luciano Spalletti of Napoli, who won the 2023, 2022, 2023 Serie A. After a long time, they won the Serie A, and yeah, so richly deserved. We'll be having the the will be having the award for the best UEFA men's player. Lionel Messi, of course, is shortlisted along with Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, unfortunately, is currently injured, and let's see if he's at the ceremony. No reason for him not to be. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. But as I'm sure you can see by my side, 32 teams, eight eight groups, A to H, and then four teams will be going into each group. You can see the pots. We'll be going through the each. Will be going through each of the single pots. One by one. There's still plenty of time, but yeah, for now, really excited about what the draw brings. Manchester City, of course, you may know they are the defending champions. They beat Inter Milan in the final in Turkey, I think it was, and 1-0 was the score as Manchester City won their first Champions League, and Pep Guardiola won the Champions League for the first time since 2012 or 2011, was it, when he won it with Barcelona. He tried with Bayern Munich, wasn't to be, lost in the final against Chelsea in 2021, but this time there was no stopping them. Even though Romelu Lukaku had a chance, he could have equalized, and then who knows what might have happened. But but uh, as it as the saying goes, the Manchester City's name was on the draw, and they went on to win the the competition. They came through some tough tough opponents. Real Madrid, they got through. Who else did they beat? Why can't I remember? So Real Madrid, they got through, um, and in the group stage they had Sevilla, Borussia Dortmund, and who else did they have? Sevilla, Borussia Dortmund, and one German team they had, RB Leipzig, I think, and then they had Bayern Munich as well, and yeah. So this is what they came through in the uh, in the Champions League. We can, of course, start googling as well. Not start, but like look at what Manchester City's path was to um, to 2022-2023 Champions League season. And as I said, they beat Real Madrid fairly comfortably after they beat RB Leipzig. Actually, they beat in the round of 16 stage. Um, they they uh, they had others. They had Sevilla. Copenhagen was the side that they had, and Sevilla, Dortmund, and Copenhagen uh, were the teams that they had in 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 the group stage. And then Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and one team they another team that they had. I'm completely forgetting their name, and yeah. So let me just keep on looking. I'm sure I'm going to find the name, and yeah. So we'll see. Uh, but this time round, the competition is going to be stiff. We have we had the final knockout rounds yesterday where PSV beat Rangers, and PSV beat Rangers 5-1 comfortably. And then they they are into the group stage, and there are two Dutch clubs in Champions League group stage, PSV Eindhoven as well as Feyenoord Rotterdam, who won the Dutch Eredivisie, overcoming both Ajax as well as um, PSV Eindhoven in the race for the Eredivisie title, of course. And then, as I mentioned previously, Newcastle United are, of course, in the Champions League this time round. Um, I remember when I started watching football, Newcastle were, I won't say regulars, but they qualified for the 2002-3 season, as well as 2 3 2003 2004 season. But unfortunately, at that time, third and fourth place sides had to go through a qualifier, and they were knocked out by Partizan Belgrade, who were managed by Lothar Matthäus. And since then, there has been an odd Europa League campaign, but not much to speak of. Approximately 18-19 months ago, Newcastle were there, bottom of the Premier League. A lot of champions, a lot of pundits had written them off, and now here we are in just waiting for the draw to begin for the Champions League. And excuse me. And yeah, I mean, really excited, really excited as to who we get. There are like two schools of thoughts. One, if it's like go big or go home, uh, why not get someone like Barcelona, or someone like Real Madrid? I know we can't get both. Milan, Bayern Munich, these kind of teams. Then again, the fan in you wants your team to go further, so perhaps a draw of Feyenoord, um and Leipzig or someone like that, and Copenhagen, Sevilla, these kind of teams. So I hope we can get a mix of that, and perhaps there's a reasonable chance that we can make it to the knockout rounds, the draw for which will take place in December. And yep, and of course, you may or may not know that from next season onwards, there will be more teams in the Champions League. There will be no draw for the knockout rounds. It will be all based on the seeding system, and so this season is going to be a bit bit different. I mean, like not different as in, but something that one would you know remember. Uh, I mean, one would remember in the current guise that it is the the Champions League is currently here, and yeah, so a bit really excited about what now happens. The draw should be beginning in an hour. Oh, not in a minute. For those who want to know, it's in Monaco in France, and there will be a lot of good stuff going on. The actual proper draw uh, would be uh, would be 8 teams, 8 groups, and all of which will be you know four pots of 8 teams. Every group will have one team from every pot, and then there are of course a few rules which need to be applied. There can't be more than one team from one confederation, that is like for from one country, like for example Manchester City or Arsenal. They cannot be drawn together uh, until the quarterfinal stages, and yeah, so that's how it will be. Manchester United and Manchester City, they can't be in the same stage, like part of the group. One will be in group A to D, and the other will be from in the groups E to H. They cannot be playing on the same night. So we are fairly sure that Arsenal and City, or Manchester City and Newcastle will be in the same side of the draw, A to D or E to H, depending upon who gets drawn first, and then that's how it is. That's how fixtures will be decided. Uh, so that's it's fairly simple for now. For now, but the draw has started. We see celebrities coming in. Luis Figo was there, and then we have the presenters who will be presenting. I mean, like conducting the draw. They are there as well, and yeah, it's going to be, I mean, like really enjoyable. It will be. Just for a request, please do give video like, and if possible subscribe to the channel, and it will be great. Big boost, doesn't cost anything, just a sign of encouragement. Do get involved in the chat if you want. We can talk about stuff, we can discuss stuff. Of course, let me know if your club is in the draw, or you're just a football fan who's just passionate about what goes on, and just enjoys football. I have of course watched football, and you know that's I would have watched this draw anyways, regardless of the fact that if Newcastle were or weren't in it. So yeah, that's the thing, and if possible, do give video like. The draw has started. The draw proper will start in about, I think, 15 more minutes, and then of course the excitement really will pump up. And as I said. Uh, 6 match days, 6 stunning match days, late night drama, late night goals, and then uh, that special music that plays the champions, the song that is really gets me. It makes me, the hair at the back of my head stand up, like on my hand as well. That music is just something beautiful, and yeah, once again, saying saying it out loud, really excited for the draw. As a Newcastle fan, we are in it to win it, hopefully, and then we'll see where it uh, ends up, and where it takes us. Let's discuss the teams. We have, of course, we have Pot A. Talk about Pot A. The teams that are in it. Pot A has Manchester City, which are who are the champions of England. Then we have Sevilla, who won the Europa League. That's why they are there. Otherwise, Real Madrid would have been there. Barcelona, who won the uh, who won the La Liga. Then Napoli, who won Serie A. Bayern Munich, they won the um, of course Bundesliga. Paris Saint-Germain, they won the Liga. They got a little bit of competition from Marseille and Lens, who are also back in the Champions League after a long time. We have Benfica, who won Portuguese league, and of course Feyenoord, as I previously mentioned, they won the Eredivisie. So really strong. Because Sevilla won the Europa League, they went in pot one, and Real Madrid dropped into the into the pot two, and of course pot two has a few strong teams as well. Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, and we'll talk about them as well. Real Madrid are there. Manchester United, of course, rich pedigree. Manchester United last won the Champions League in 2008 in Rome. Sorry, in Moscow, when they beat Chelsea on penalties. If you remember, John Terry slipped and missed. Inter Milan, Internazionale Milano, as they are known in Italy, they won they of course lost the final against Manchester City. They won the final in 2010 when it was in Real Madrid's home stadium, Santiago Bernabeu. They beat Bayern Munich 2-0. Two goals from Diego Milito. I don't know if you remember him or not. His brother Gabriel Milito played for Barcelona. Diego Milito was, of course, a fabulous striker with Real Zaragoza, I remember, and might have played for Barcelona, but Inter certainly he was a standout star. We have Borussia Dortmund, who lost in 2013 the final against Bayern Munich at Wembley. Atletico Madrid 2014 they lost, 2016 they lost. Both time to Real Madrid. They were of course they were Real Madrid. Sergio Ramos last minute goal, if anyone remembers, the header from a corner. There's no one on the line, and then Atletico Madrid lost on penalty in Rome. Gareth Bale ran them ragged 2 years later. So I mean, it's Vivek will get to Newcastle. Let's see where Newcastle end up. It'll be tough. Let's see the draw, but according to some bookies, they are eighth favorite to win this season Champions League. Yeah, of course, coming back to group groups, RB Leipzig, they thrashed Bayern Munich in the German Super Cup 3-0. Harry Kane's debut was spoiled. FC Porto, of course, won the 2004 Champions League. Jose Mourinho running down the touchline. Since then, it's been a lean period for Porto. They haven't done as well as they would have liked, and uh, that's for Porto, and then we have Arsenal, who are back in Champions League after a long time. Right now, they're going through some of the images from last season's Champions League, so let's see what happens. Liverpool, of course, aren't there in this year's Champions League. Um, they had a tough season. They were showing some pictures of Liverpool, and And yeah, so that's what Liverpool are all about. We Then coming back to groups, pot two, as I was talking about, Arsenal are back. They had a super season last season, finished second in the Premier League. Pot three, we have Shakhtar Donetsk, of course. Ukraine and Russia, the war is going on, but still Shakhtar Donetsk are in it. FC Salzburg, a team that keeps on producing talent after talent after talent. AC Milan are there. Um, Braga from Portugal. PSV Eindhoven, who beat Rangers last night. Lazio, who had a superb season in Serie A last season. Of course, AC Milan, who lost in the semi-final to the city rivals Internazionale Milano. So that's another big team in pot C of the Champions League. And then we have Red Star Belgrade in groups pot three, Crevena Zvezda as they are known, but Red Star Belgrade, that's much easier to pronounce. And then Danish contingent from Danish contingent we have FC Copenhagen. And yeah, so for moving on to pot four, I'm sure you can see the picture besides me. We have young boys from Switzerland, Real Sociedad from Spain, up north from Pamplona, Galatasaray, who also came through a qualifier, Celtic from Scotland, Newcastle United. Of course, I haven't I've talked so much about Newcastle United. Union Berlin. We have from Germany, Royal Antwerp from Belgium, and RC Lens from France, who had a superb season as well. And the draw, I mean, like everyone is seated, should begin in about 15-20 minutes, and I just can't wait for the draw to begin. And yep, so I mean, I mean, let's see how the draw goes. But now they're talking to Tiki Bigiristan, who's one of the directors of football at Manchester City, and and yep. So yeah, and Manchester City, one of the directors at Manchester City, as I've said many times, that they won the Champions League last season. And once again, another small request: just do click like and subscribe to the channel. It's free of cost. Uh, Nothing lost, nothing gained. We have a trophy on the stage as well, and yeah. So one of the hostesses is speaking. I don't know her name, but really pretty, and and yeah. So that's the thing, and and yeah. So that's the thing, and yes, English clubs are really strong financially as well. They 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 uh, they have the most money, so they can spend the most, and that's why English clubs are really doing well. Last season, of course, Manchester City won 2021. 2021, they Chelsea won, and then Liverpool won in 2019. They beat Tottenham in the final. I think it was in the Bernabeu. The final was, and yeah. So English clubs are really strong, and you won't believe that um, four out of the top eight favorites are English clubs: Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and even they are there. Paris Saint Germain are there as well, but even Napoli even are uh, below Newcastle United, who are playing in their first Champions League since 2002-3 season, and now we have Joe Cole and Eric Abidal on stage. I think they'll be conducting the draw. The draw, I mean, like it's about to start. They'll be talking about some things, and then the draw should happen. The draw. Eric Abidal, he was ill for a while, and of course, just to let you know, the final is at Wembley. Um, Last time round, it was in Turkey, Galatasaray's home stadium. So let's see what happens. Eric Abidal, of course, played for Barcelona and Juventus as well. He played for, and yep, so he'll be, I think, one of those people who'll be conducting the draws. Not sure whether he'll be pulling out the groups or whatever, but he'll be conducting the draw, and we'll see what happens. More information. So, as I said, the first match day will be on 19th and 20th of September, depending upon who gets which group. They usually start with EFGH and then go to ABCD. So that's how it will happen. We'll have that information soon, and then we'll see where it takes us. Joe Cole now talking on stage, uh, and yes, then 3rd and 4th of October, 24th and 25th of October, third match day, 7th and 8th November 2023, fourth match day, 28th and 29th November 2023, fifth match day, and the last one, and perhaps the most crucial one. By this time, most of the teams have qualified, but still a few teams have have their fates hanging in the balance. The draw is about to start. Once again, let me tell you, there are four pots: A, B, C, D, and one, two, three, four, and we'll have four teams from four pots. One team from every pot going into each of the eight groups. So that's how it will take place. We'll have, of course, certain restrictions are there. Always, we have teams from same nations can't be drawn against each other, at least till the quarterfinal stage, and depending upon the matches, the teams, the group. So that's how the matches will. I mean, like every player they're signing, they say it's a good player, but we'll talk about Manchester United after a while. Right now, the draw is about to start, and I'm excited about that. And we'll definitely talk about Manchester United later. They are, of course, in pot two, and we'll see. We'll talk about Manchester United perhaps later, and then how it goes for. Right now, they're explaining the rules that I have gone through with you, like the countries rule, etc., etc., how the pots have been divided, and how the draw will take place. Everyone now looking serious. The first ball can't be that drawing of the first ball can't be that far away. So let's see who we have drawn first. Eric Abidal and, as I said, Joe Cole will be the ones who will be drawing the balls. And right now, so eight teams in every pot. I'm sure you can see the pots behind besides me in the picture. Once again, very quickly going through: Manchester City, Sevilla, FC Barcelona, Napoli, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, SL Benfica, Feyenoord. These are in Group A. Pot 2: Real Madrid, Manchester United, Internazionale Milano, or Inter Milan if you want to know, Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, RB Leipzig, FC Porto, Arsenal. Pot 3, Shakhtar Donetsk, Salzburg, AC Milan, SC Braga, PSV Eindhoven, SS Lazio, and then Red Star Belgrade or Crvena Zvezda and FC Copenhagen. And pot 4, BSC Young Boys of Switzerland, Real Sociedad, and Celtic, Galatasaray, Newcastle United, Union Berlin, Royal Antwerp, RC Lens, and of course they are explaining some of the rules. I can't tell you exactly, but the thing is that from what has been happening previously, um, two teams or two clubs from the same parent organization can't be drawn in the same group, and then top two teams from every group will go through to the round of 16, draw for which will take place in um, 16th of December, and we'll see who gets there. Hopefully, Newcastle will be one of those teams we'll be talking about, and yeah. So draw is about to start. I'm really excited. I was thinking like the award ceremony will take place first, but it looks like the draw is about to begin, and yeah. So that's how it will be, and right now they're just going over some rules. Just get the draw started, man. So that's how. Let me know which team are you supporting if you're watching, and then we can see uh, which group that team goes in, and then I mean if your team is in the group stage, mine is Newcastle United. So and then we'll talk about it. Which group could be the toughest? Will there be a group of death? Will there be more than one group of death? And the draw is about to begin. Should be beginning in the next in the next in the next minute or two. So Manchester City, pot one. Rodri just showing how Rodri scored the goal that won the title. Sevilla, of course, perennial Europa League Europa League winners, and Barcelona, brilliant last season defensively. Napoli again brilliant last season. Victor Osimhen, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, Bayern Munich. Of course, Bayern Munich now have Harry Kane with them. Harry Kane, who has already scored thrice. PSG have sold Neymar, and Messi is left, and not sure about Kylian Mbappe how it will go. Then Benfica, who are a good team as well. Feyenoord, surprising winners of the Dutch Eredivisie last time round. This is spot one. That's what they're explaining. So now um, they'll be they'll be drawing, and let's see who goes in which group, and then we have the draw starting, and let's see how it goes. So, ooh, right now, okay, then here's the draw taking place. Let's see. Let's see who we get, and then Joe Cole is drawing. Not sure what he's drawing, the groups or the teams. So the first team or group out of the bag is Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are out. I mean, like they are the first name that's been drawn. Let's see which group they go in. Bayern Munich are in Group A. Bayern Munich, and now I think they'll just draw, and then they'll go straight like this A B C D to H. Bayern Munich are in Group A, and then we have Sevilla. I think they'll go into Group B. They're just waiting for the confirmation that Sevilla are in Group B. Yes, Sevilla are in Group B. And then I'm sure you can see I'm typing in, and then Sevilla, of course, Europa League winners. And then we have Napoli, SSC Napoli. Pretty sure they'll go in Group C. Yes, they are in Group C. Uh, Now we have Benfica, who are in Group D. Yes, SL Benfica are in Group B. Oh, Group D. Sorry, I beg your pardon. And that's how it is. And now Feyenoord, Feyenoord are in Group E. Feyenoord are in Group E. I'm sure pretty much every club, big club, would be wanting Feyenoord. They're good, but they're not that good. Now we have Paris Saint-Germain, who are in Group F. Paris Saint-Germain are in Group F, and who's left? Barcelona are left, I think. Barcelona and Porto. No, not Porto. Manchester City, of course, are in Group G. Are in Group B, and then finally we have FC Barcelona. We can obviously type in because that's how it will be. Uh, that's how it will be, and FC Barcelona are in Group H, and so Bojan Krkic, formerly of Barcelona, and FC Stoke City, of course. Uh, you might remember. Pot two we have in Pot two we have Real Madrid. Uh, they won the Champions League last year. Manchester United, who weren't in the Champions League last year, but did well in Europa League. Inter Milan, who of course lost in the final, and we have Borussia Dortmund, somehow didn't win the title. Atletico Madrid, RB Leipzig have done really well. 5-1, they beat Stuttgart over the weekend. FC Porto, giant of a football club in Portugal. Arsenal, of course, might have won the Premier League last season, but it wasn't to be. So these are the eight teams: Madrid, Manchester City, Dortmund, um, Atletico Madrid, Leipzig, Arsenal, Porto, and Manchester United, of course, are another one. And yeah, so that's the lineup, and now it gets interesting. Is now I think it's not that simple. Like who goes into which group? We'll see who who Eric Capital draws, and the first team out of pot two is Borussia Dortmund. Of course, Borussia Dortmund are, and I think they can go into EFGH. So let's see which which group they can go in. There are only four groups because Bayern Munich are in uh, Group A, so they can't go in A, B, C, D. So they can only go in E, F, G, H. So we'll find out which group Borussia Dortmund go in, and they are in Group F. So Paris Saint-Germain and Borussia Dortmund. Group F is Borussia Dortmund and PSG. Next team out of pot two is let's see who are in, who's there, and it's Arsenal, and I think Arsenal can go in EFGH. I think they can go in E and H. I think they can only go in E and H. Not sure why that would be. Okay, that. Okay. F they can't go, G they can't go, E and H is the only option I think for that. No, they can go in A, B, C, D. So Arsenal can go in A, B, C, D. So they'll be in either A, B, or A, B, C, or D. Arsenal are in Group B with Sevilla. They'd be pretty happy with that. Arsenal, Arsenal and Sevilla in Group B, and the third team out of the pot is Atletico Madrid. Let's see. I think Atletico Madrid can go from E to H as well, but we'll find out. Some of these algorithms or the rules are pretty tricky. So I think E and H are the only options. They are in Group H, Group E, that is. So who was drawn? Atletico Madrid. Pretty easy for um, Atletico Madrid, I think. And then we have Manchester United. I think they can go from A. They can go in Group A, C, and D. So A, C, and D. Manchester United. Let's see which group they go to, A, C, or D. So Arsenal and Manchester United are on the one side of draw. Manchester City and Newcastle will be on the other side of the draw. So let's see. Manchester United are in Group A with Bayern Munich. Fucking hell. Manchester United with Bayern Munich. It's a tough gig for Manchester United, and now we have four more teams in pot two, and it's RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig, I think they can go in C or D, C or D, or G or H. I mean, like, I don't think there's an issue. Um, they can go in C, D, E, or H. They just can't, I think, go in this with the Dortmund or Bayern Munich, of course. So it's Group G, Group G. Fucking hell! Do I know RB Leipzig? RB Leipzig are in Group G with Manchester City, and pretty decent draw for Manchester City. Have to say, defending champions, they'd be smiling inside. It's not a tough draw. And then we have Inter Milan. Let's see where they can go. They of course can't go in Group C. Um, so I think they are the only option they had was Group D. So I think it's Inter Milan are in Group D, and then we have FC Porto. FC Porto, I think, can go anywhere apart from the Benfica group. They can go in Group H. I think that's what it is. FC Porto and Barcelona. One team left. Let's see who that is. Real Madrid, of course. Real Madrid. They and Napoli. They are with Real Madrid. They are in Group C with the so I'm like Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Napoli, Real Madrid, Benfica, Milan, PSG, Dortmund, Man City. I mean, like A and C are two groups that are to be avoided. Have to say that, and have to say that, have to say that, and for now we have Pot C. Pot C. Where will we go? Pot C. AC Milan, and then we AC Milan who reached the semi-finals. Braga of Portugal and PSV Eindhoven, as I told you, they beat Rangers, and then we have Celtic as well, and Lazio. Uh, I like Lazio. I don't know why. I just do. Crvena Zvezda, Red Star Belgrade, as they're known, FC Copenhagen, and yeah, and who else? Braga, Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm sorry, sorry I missed out on their name. Shakhtar Donetsk, Salzburg, Milan, Braga, Eindhoven, Lazio, Red Star Belgrade, and from Serbia, and FC Copenhagen. So let's see who goes into which draw, and here comes the first team from the draw from pot three, and and here we have it. It's Shakhtar Donetsk. So pardon my spelling. Uh, I think they can go in any group because there are no Ukrainian teams. So let's guess where they'll go. I'd say Group C with Real Madrid. That's why I think they always end up. So Shakhtar Donetsk. Let's see where they head. Uh, Group H with Barcelona and Porto for another. Shakhtar Donetsk. So Barcelona, Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, pretty even so far. And Shakhtar Donetsk, I'm sure, will be playing their matches in Poland, not in Ukraine. And this is Red Star Belgrade. Crvena Zvezda. Apart from H, they can go anywhere. So let's see where, because H, of course, we already have three teams, so not many teams from Serbia, and let's see where they go. So far, tough draw for Manchester United and whoever goes in Group C, and let's see Group G with Manchester City. I mean, like, don't want to say this, uh, but looks like a pretty easy draw for Manchester City. Group G. Leipzig and PSV Eindhoven from the Eredivisie beat Rangers 5-1 last night. They can go. How can they go in every group? Okay, they can't go in EFGH, but they can go in A, B, C, D. So let's see where they go. PSV Eindhoven will be in Group B with Arsenal. I'm not sure if you've seen uh, Champions League matches from earlier years, but Arsenal and PSV were constantly drawn together. There was a time when Gilberto scored a goal very, very early in the Champions League, and yeah. Now we have AC Milan. They can't go in. I mean, there are only four options available for them. E and F, I think, are the only options available for them. Uh, let's see which side of the draw they get. E or F. Let's say. I say E. It's F. AC Milan are in group with Paris Saint-Germain, Dortmund, AC Milan, and then I'm getting nervous here. The draw for the Newcastle United team is also getting closer. So four teams left here. Of course, let's see. We have FC Salzburg, and let's see who A, C, or D. Whether they go in with Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Napoli, Real Madrid, Benfica, Milan. See, let's see. Salzburg are in Group D with Benfica and Inter Milan. FC Salzburg in Group D. We have Lazio. Lazio, I think, can only go in Group E. Pretty simple. This is Lazio. And now they're just confirming it's Group E for Lazio. Two teams are remaining. Copenhagen, I think, are one of them, are they? And Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, and Lazio. Pretty decent so far. I hope Newcastle get Group E. I'd be happy. And we have Copenhagen. They can get A or C. Let's see what they get. FC Copenhagen. Or C. A perhaps. A. FC Copenhagen. FC Copenhagen, and then the last team that is remaining will of course go in Group C. Can't remember who it might or might not be, but here it comes. It's SC Braga, and I guess Real Madrid will be pretty happy with what they have had so far, and yeah. So here comes the last spot, and the last spot should be, I mean, like, it will be the deciding one. Uh, let's see who goes into which group, and then we'll have our groups completed, and we'll have our teams. Of course, as a Newcastle United fan, I'm a bit nervous. Let's say, um, young boys of Bern. They are introducing the teams, like who who will probably be participating, and then yeah. So Galatasaray, Celtic, Newcastle United was showing goals from Premier League. FC Union Berlin, who had a remarkable season as well, and Royal Antwerp from Belgium, and RC Lens from French Liga. I think they are a club in northeast of France, Lille kind of area. Lille, Lens, Valenciennes. These three are the big clubs there. So FC Lens, RC Lens or Lens as they're pronounced. So let's go. Let's go, buddy boys. Let's see which group is completed first. It's Real Sociedad from Spain, and I think they'll go with perhaps A and D is available. Uh, I think it's A and D. No, there are more options available for Real Sociedad. Of course, Spain has five teams because Sevilla won the Europa League. So there are five teams. Real Sociedad. Let's see which group they go in. Group D for Real Sociedad. So Group D, Real Sociedad. Group D is complete. Benfica, Inter Milan, FC Salzburg, and Real Sociedad. And yeah, let's see who. Oh, Newcastle United are out of the balls, and let's see where we go. E, F, and H. E, F, and H. I'll really take E or H, but not F. As long as it's not F, E or F, E or H, please, 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 Eric, please, Eric, E or H would do. E or H, please, not F. Oh fuck! It's Newcastle United. Tell you what, I am confident we can qualify from this group. And yep, Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan, Newcastle United, Sandro Tonali, of course, going back to Newcastle United. Alexander Isak played for Borussia Dortmund, Galatasaray. Let's see where Galatasaray go. Galatasaray. Pretty happy with this draw. Reasonable teams. We can beat Milan and Dortmund, especially at St James's Park. So Galatasaray. I hope I spelled it correctly. Apologies if I spelled it wrong. Union Berlin, the next team out of the hat, and Union Berlin can go in B or C. Uh, I'm confident we can qualify. Group F, C. Union Berlin are in Group C. Berlin Group C is complete now, and we have young boys. Bern, they I think can go in any group. There are no Swiss teams. B, E, G, or H, any group they can choose. B, E, G, or H. So it will take a couple of minutes for them to decide who. Group G is for young boys. So just three more teams left. Celtic, one of them. RC Lens are the next out of the. I think they can go in any group apart from B. B. So Lens are in Group B. Celtic and one more team. Let's see who that might be. Celtic. One more team left. After that, they can go in E or H. Only two groups are left, so of course they can only go in E or H, and then we'll have the last team. Group E, we have Celtic, uh, and of course the last team that is there is Royal Antwerp of Belgium. They are in Group H. So folks, there we have it. 8 teams and 8 teams, 8 groups, 32 teams. I meant, and then all these will be battling it out to be making it to the group stage. Confident about Newcastle United, and the group stage is complete. Group A, we have Bayern Munich, Manchester United, FC Copenhagen, Galatasaray. Group B, Sevilla, Arsenal, Eindhoven, Lens. Group C, Napoli, Real Madrid, Braga, Union Berlin. Group D, Benfica, Inter, Salzburg, and Real Sociedad. Group E, Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, SS Lazio, Celtic. Group F, Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan, Newcastle United. Group G, Manchester City, RB Leipzig, Crvena Zvezda or Red Star Belgrade, Young Boys of Bern. I mean, how did Manchester City get that group? So easy. Group H, FC Barcelona, FC Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk and Royal Antwerp. Barcelona have pretty easy draw as well. For Manchester United, it's I mean, like, they would fancy their chances. Group B, Sevilla, Arsenal, Eindhoven, Lens. I fancy Arsenal and Sevilla. Group C, Napoli, Madrid, Braga, Union Berlin, Real Madrid, and Napoli, clear favourites. Benfica, Inter, Salzburg, Sociedad. I think Inter will go through. Sociedad and Benfica are the two teams that will battle it out. We'll of course have a much more detailed discussion on this. PSG, Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan, and Newcastle United in Group F. I think PSG will make it through, and I have a feeling that Newcastle United might make it through. Group G, Manchester City, Leipzig, Red Star Belgrade, Young Boys of Bern. like looks like friendly kind of a group stage, very very easy. City should be walking this. Group H: Barcelona, Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, Royal Antwerp. Barcelona haven't made it out of the group stages for the last 2 years. If they fail to make it out this time round, they'll be kicking themselves. But I think they will quite easily. And yeah, I mean, I mean, what is there not to like for uh, for Barcelona? We'll see, Vivek, what happens. What happens now? The teams will play each other. 6 games, 3 home games, 3 away games, and then two teams from each group will qualify, and the third team will go into the Europa League. That's how it will be. We have three uh, fantastic home games and 3 fantastic away games for every team. Have to say, there are decent groups. I think Group F is the toughest. That is for Newcastle, my team, the team I'd be supporting. But I think we can make it through. If not to the knockout rounds, then at least I hope we can make it to the Europa League. But it's perhaps the toughest draw. Um, the function will continue. Once again, another request: if you can please follow, subscribe to the channel, and hit that like button. It's free of cost, doesn't cost anything. And now we'll have some awards for the best coach, best player, best women's player. So that's how it will be. And there's an award for Miroslav Klose, or someone like that, and that's how it is. And we'll of course, in the next 15-20 minutes we'll be talking about the groups, who's likely to go through, who perhaps isn't. Some of my bias may come when we discuss Group F, but now the awards are being given out. I think so. Group F is perhaps the toughest um, for everybody, to be honest. Group F: Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan, and Newcastle United, and it will be tough for all the teams coming to St James's Park, whether it be Signal Iduna Park in Dortmund, or San Siro in Milan, or Stade de France in Paris, and or Stade de France or Stade de Paris. I think it's Stade de Paris. So I think Group F is toughest. When you consider Manchester City, their group is pretty easy. They'll qualify. Uh, I mean, so Miroslav Klose has been awarded. As I told you, it was pre-decided. Like he'll be awarded, and there it is. He's been given his award. Uh, we knew that will happen, and um, this is uh, this is UEFA President's Award for Miroslav Klose. He is of course highest scorer at the World Cups for any player in any country. Miroslav Klose scored twice against Brazil in the 2014 semi-final as well, and yeah. So that's the thing with Miroslav Klose. I think Manchester United right now are will get to Manchester United. They find good players, but the system isn't working for them. The midfield is a problem. There are defenders who are out with injury: Luke Shaw, Rafael Varane, and Tyrell Malacia as well. And Lisandro Martinez isn't that flash player as many would have you believe. And yeah, so that's the thing. Uh, so, folks, the draw has happened. You can see the draw, the groups, uh, the eight groups that they are there. Group F, I think, is the toughest for everybody. Uh, Paris Saint-Germain, they have had a lot of changes. Of course, Kylian Mbappe is coming to St James's Park. I would hope so. And then we have Sandro Tonali going to San Siro, back to San Siro. We bought Sandro Tonali from AC Milan, and then we have Borussia Dortmund. Alexander Isak played for Borussia Dortmund, I think, for a couple of seasons, or at least one season. It wasn't that good for them, but Group F is the toughest, and then I think uh, then we have two relatively easier groups in Group G and H. Group G and H. I mean Manchester City. We drew Manchester City in the Carabao Cup at home, and then we have we have this group for Manchester City. I'm like, how can Manchester City get such an easy group? I'm like, seriously, RB Leipzig, Red Star Belgrade, young boys. For those who are reading Crvena Zvezda, it's they're more popularly known as Red Star Belgrade, Barcelona, FC Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, Royal Antwerp. Barcelona will be, I'm like, absolutely delighted. Then you look at Group B: Sevilla, Arsenal, Eindhoven, and Lens. And then Group C: Napoli, Madrid, Braga, Union Berlin. I think Group D is tough as well. As to Salzburg are a decent team. Their main striker Benjamin Sesko moved to Leipzig this season, but Inter, Benfica, Sociedad, Benfica were knocked out by Inter Milan last season, and that's I think Inter will be fairly comfortable, although they have lost Lukaku this season. He's gone to AS Roma. Inter have lost other players as well. Milan Skriniar has gone to. Thank you, Vivek, for your complimentary words. Then we have Benfica, who sell players. Gonzalo Ramos has gone to PSG, and PSG have bought well this season. So Benfica, Inter Milan, and Inter Milan. Who else was there? Uh, Salzburg and Sociedad, I think, were the four teams, and yeah. Manchester United, who are returning to Champions League after a year-long absence, they have a pretty easy draw. Although Galatasaray would have you believe otherwise. Manchester United, with all those injuries, will they be able to cope? Bayern Munich, I think, will go through, and I think Manchester United should go through, but Galatasaray and Copenhagen would want to cause an upset, and I think if Manchester United don't get their act together, like Mason Mount, etc., then there are chances of upset. Group B: Sevilla, Arsenal, Eindhoven, and Lens. I, to be honest, I don't know too much about RC Lens Racing or Racing Club Lens. PSV Eindhoven, yes, they beat Rangers. Sevilla, if you had to ask me right now, I'd say Sevilla and Arsenal are firm favourites from Group B. And Group C, Napoli and Real Madrid. Um, Braga, I think, will finish fourth. Union Berlin third. Benfica, Inter Milan, Salzburg, Sociedad. I think it will. Inter Milan will go through, and I think Benfica will go through. Group E, Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio, and Celtic. I think it's Atletico Madrid will definitely go through. Celtic, I think will finish bottom. It's between Feyenoord and Lazio. I think Lazio have done some really smart business. They bought in Matteo Gundizzi, Ciro Immobile is still there. They lost Sergio Milinkovic Savic. A couple of other players are there as well, who are good players, Marusic, etc. And so Group F, it's tough to call, and I'm not going to say who goes through or who doesn't because I'm a bit biased. I think PSG and Newcastle United go through. Newcastle United will be too strong at home for Dortmund and Milan, and can make a point in Milan at San Siro and at Dortmund. And Group G, Manchester City, of course, will go through, and Leipzig. These are just, I mean, and Barcelona, and I think Porto will go through. That's my analysis of the whole situation. Um, Let me know in the chat who do you think will go through, and we can. I mean, like it was supposed to happen, but it is. They're not showing it on television. They just um, gave out the UEFA President's Award to Miroslav Klose, and then it went off air. I'm sure on Twitter we can find out when who's going to get that award, because there's Women's Player of the Year award as well, Coach of the Year. Pep Guardiola, I think, is favorite. After all, his team won three trophies: the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the just what else did they win? The FA Cup, Premier League, and the Champions League. They also beat Sevilla in the Europa Super League, Super Cup. 1-1 draw. They beat them on penalties. Can't remember who missed the penalty. For So do click like if possible, and we'll see how it goes. But decent draw. I was kind of hoping if Newcastle could get Group E or F, Group E or F, but it wasn't to be, and and uh, and yeah. It's going to be so look, Champions League is always a fascinating watch, always is, and this season will be no different. And I'm trying to post the the groups as per the um, okay. So Pep Guardiola has won the Coach of the Year award. Uh, it's not on television, but they have just announced it on uh, on Twitter, and well deserved. I mean, who would have argued against Pep Guardiola winning it? And and uh, and Pep Guardiola has won it. His team won the FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League, and now the Super Cup as well. I'm pretty sure they'll win the UEFA Super Cup as well, and and uh, and they are the top favorites for uh, for uh, for the Champions League. Once again, this season the squad is absolutely outstanding. I don't know if you've heard, read, or not this or not, but they've agreed a fee with the Wolverhampton Wanderers, Wolves, for Matthias Nunes, um, an attacking midfielder. Was Wolves' shining light last season, and and Yeah, so Jeremy Doku they have signed from, was it Lens or Lorient? I don't know, one of the two teams. Jeremy Doku they signed, and just trying to post a picture where you can see the actual draw, um, the draw for the Champions League, and just give me a minute. By till that time, you can see um, the draw as it happened on my screen. There's 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 of course the the draw there, and yeah, just adjusting, and yeah, you should be able to see this thing adjusting the box, and we should have it pretty soon, and just adjusting. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. And if you want to discuss something, you can ask me. And let's see how it goes. And this box is not adjusting. This let me see. So let me see how it comes up on screen, and 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 let's see if I can put it. I mean, it's not coming up. I'm not sure why. Just see. I mean, so and I mean, I hope it's not too much of an inconvenience. And anyways, let me know who do you think is is you know is 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 the favorite for the draw or for the Champions League. Who do you think will make it to the knockout rounds? Who do you think has the toughest draw? If you have uh, you know if you think that ways, or anything that you have in mind, let's discuss that, and we can talk about that if possible. If not, I've already given you my two pennyworth, who I think will make it through, who I don't think will make it through. So let's see. Once again, let's see. So that's the draw. Not sure if the award for the men's player of the year has been given out or not, but has Pep Guardiola. Okay, the breaking news is Haaland has been named UEFA Men's Player of the Year. Erling Haaland, he was the top scorer. Uh, he scored 5 goals against RB Leipzig in one match. So, I mean, congratulations to Erling Haaland, who's been named um, player of the UEFA's Player of the Year, and I think he scored what 12 goals. 12 goals. Just double checking. Not too sure. I think he scored 12 goals. To Erling Haaland has won the UEFA Player of the Year. Of course, Lionel Messi was he achieved most of his success in the uh, he achieved most of his success in the at the World Cup. PSG had a pretty disappointing season, and yeah, so that's what happened with Messi and Kevin De Bruyne was of course I think second fiddle. Goals win you games, and I thought Lionel Messi might have won it, but well deserved for Erling Haaland. He was superb for Manchester City, but there were other players who were just as important for Manchester City, and yeah, so let's see who wins it next year. Another tough competition awaits for everyone, and yeah, so that's how it will be. Anyways, if you are watching, please do consider subscribing to the channel and do like the videos. It doesn't cost anything. It's a big boost for the channel, so please do consider subscribing. And of course, draw is in front of you. We can chat if you want. We can talk about anything you want to talk about regarding the UEFA Champions League, the group draw that has just taken place, and which group is the toughest. I think I've told you. Group F, Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan, and Newcastle United are the 4 teams in it. And Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Galatasaray, and Copenhagen are there as well. So let's see which of course upsets can happen in any walk of life, and football is no different. And let's see how it goes. Uh, really excited. The first match day I think is on 19th and 20th of September. I believe. Yeah, and then we have Europa League draw tomorrow and Europa Conference League draw tomorrow. Some big teams in there as well. Brighton, Liverpool, West Ham, as well as Real Betis, Atalanta. Uh, who else is there? Roma. So it will be interesting as well. We'll be of course doing another live for that, and hopefully it will be well received by you, and we'll see how it goes. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and and take care. Hope your team got a favorable draw, and let's see how it goes. So until then, take care.